Hi there. It's December 22nd, and it's time for Proverbs 22. Jump over there. We'll get into it here. Okay. This one's got some good promises in it, okay? A good name is to be chosen rather than great wealth, and grace rather than silver or gold. That's that. A good name. It's a reputation, right? How do you get a good reputation? By saying kind things and being kind to people, right? Building them up, not tearing them down. 2, rich and poor have this in common. Adonai is the maker of them all. Right? God made everyone. The rich people don't think so, but a crafty person sees danger and hides, but the naive keep going and suffer for it. Over here it says a prudent man, and there's a note. That is the punishment which is prepared for the wicked and fleeth not to God for succor. I don't know what that means, but yes, a prudent or crafty or wise person sees danger and hides, but the naive keep going and suffer for it. Right? A lot of that going on now. The reward for humility, humbleness, and fear of the Lord, right, is riches, honor, and life. Right? The reward for being humble, not proud, arrogant, conceited, thinking you're better than everybody else, and fear of the Lord, Adonai, is riches, honor, and life. There's a promise right there, okay? Don't go after money. Go after humbleness and the Lord, right? And you will have riches, honor, and life, okay? Cool. Thorns and snares are in the path of the perverse, but the one who guards his soul stays far from them. Okay? Trouble. Thorns and snares. Thorns and snares. This is over here too. Right? You got that? Nothing but trouble. Guard your soul. 6, train up in the child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's a famous verse. Been lots of sermons taught on this, right? Training a child when they're young, taking them to church, exposing them to the Lord Jesus, to Adonai, and fear of the Lord. They may stray when they're teenagers or young adults, but sooner or later, if they are trained that when they were young, they will come back to it, okay? I can testify to this from my own children who are now in their 40s, okay? And there was a period when, like the prodigal son, they went out and thought they knew a better way, but in the end, they come back, okay? And this one is a horrible fact of life. The rich rule over the poor. The borrower is a slave to the lender. Okay? Most of us are slaves now. Most of us are in debt. If you owe a credit card bill, right? If you have a mortgage, a car payment, you are a slave to that lender. Okay? Because if you don't pay it, they will take it away. Okay? And you have to pay for your electric, and you have to pay for some people have to pay for their water. All right? And the fuel to heat their homes, okay? It's not supposed to be that way, but there are people that want to make us slaves to them. So, and it's a fact of life. 8, one who sows injustice will reap trouble, and the rod of his fury will perish. I'm reading that over here. He that soweth iniquity shall reap affliction, and the rod of his anger shall fail. His authority whereby he did oppress others shall be taken from him. You got that? Shall be taken from them. Okay, think about all these. There's a lot of crooked judges out there now, right? That seem to be working for something other than the justice, right? And the rules, right? It will be taken away from them. Okay. 9, with a bountiful eye, eye, one with a bountiful eye will be blessed, for he shares his bread with the poor, right? If you have, you should share with the poor. You will be blessed, okay? It says that all over the Bible, specific and especially in Proverbs. Okay? 10, throw out a scoffer, and strife will go out. Quarreling and disgrace will cease. One who loves purity of heart. Oh, it's a different one. And whose speech is gracious will have the king as his friend. Those don't really go together, do they? Throw out a scoffer, and strife will go out. Quarreling and disgrace will cease. Right? Yeah. Cast out the scorner, and strife shall go out. All right. Get those people out of your lives, okay? Scoffers, the scorners, the proud, the arrogant. Okay? You don't need to hang around people like that. You'd be surprised how easier your life gets if you get those people out of your life, okay? And 11, one who loves purity of heart and whose speech is gracious will have the king as his friend. The king, right? 12, the eyes of Adonai guard knowledge, but he undermines the words of the faithless, right? The eyes of the guard knowledge. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. Right. That's the kind of knowledge you want, okay? The kind of knowledge that the eyes of Adonai guard. Okay? That's what we're after. The slacker says, there's a lion outside, I'll be killed in the streets. Right. Excuses, right? Any excuse will do. And that's how ridiculous some of them sound, okay? 14, the mouth of a seducing woman is a deep pit. Into it will fall one with whom Adonai is angry. He with whom the Lord is angry shall fall therein. Right? Imagine God being angry with you. Wow. 15, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline will drive it far from him. Okay? Kids are born, right, with foolishness in their hearts, and you have to drive it from them with discipline. This happens when they are young, from the time they're like 1.5 to the time they're 8 years old. By the time they are 8 years old, they should know right from wrong, good from bad. And if they don't, you're going to have some horrible times with teenagers and young adults later in their life. Yeah. 16, the one who oppresses the poor to increase his own gain, and the one who gives to the rich both end in poverty. Right. Have you seen these people? Usually, some gangs and some bullies go around these poor neighborhoods and oppressing the poor and taking what little they have. Right. And one who gives to the rich both end in poverty. Right. They will end up there. 17, incline your ear and listen to the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is delightful if you keep them within you, ready on your lips, so that you may trust Adonai. Okay, now this whole thing is one. And this is 30 sayings, and we always highlight these every month, because you're supposed to memorize them, okay? Keep them with you, ready on your lips. That means to memorize them, so that your trust may be in Adonai. I have made them known to you this day, even you. Have I not written to you 30 sayings of admonition and knowledge to show you the true and reliable words, that you may give a true answer to those who sent you? Have I not done this? ? Okay, and these are the 30 sayings. You see over there, they're all highlighted and separated. Okay? And we'll just do like we did over there. Okay, I'll make this green. Okay? And these are 30 sayings. Okay, it'll take 3 days to get through all these 30 sayings. Okay. 1, do not rob a poor person because he is poor, nor crush the needy at the gate, for Adonai will plead their case and rob life from those who plunder them. Right? Do not rob the poor because they are poor. Look, and it didn't work. There we go. Number 1. Do not rob the poor because he is poor. Okay, number 2. Do not be friends with one given to anger or associate with a hot-tempered person, lest you learn his ways and entangle your soul in a snare. I've been with angry people, and people hang around angry people, and they become angry people. Right? Stay away from those kind of people. I mean, there is righteous anger. Sometimes people get angry for the right reasons, but some people are just angry all the time. Nothing makes them happy, okay? This is saying number 3, 26 and 27. Do not be one who shakes hands or puts up security for debts. If you do not have enough to pay, why should your bed be taken from under you? Again, this is probably the 4th or 5th time he's talked about the dangers of co-signing for somebody else's loan. Right? You get nothing out of it, right? And if they don't pay, their lender is going to come after you and take what you have, right? And you don't even have a product. So, hey, that's number 3. Number 4, do not move an ancient boundary stone which your father set up. Okay, I mean, then one today, I imagine if there's lots of people that own land next to each other, that mean they're trying to move the borders back and forth, trying to get an extra row of corn in or something, you know? But today they call it encroachment, okay? And the 5th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure people. Okay. There you go. So there's 5 of the 30 sayings, okay? Oh, like I said, and this will take tomorrow and the next day to cover all these 30 sayings. And some of them, I mean, he's not memorizing them word for word. Some of them is just common sense stuff that's in there that you know, right from wrong. Stuff you shouldn't do. Okay, what do I highlight in here? The reward of humility or being humble and fear of the Lord is riches, honor, and life. Very important. Why do you do all of this? The reward for being humble and fear of the Lord is riches, honor, and life. Take that to the bank. Right? 6, train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not turn from it. Right? And we talked about this. They may stray for a while, and some never do, but train them when they are young. Expose them to it, because the world will expose them to Satan and all his wiles and his fake promises, right? Fame and fortune. Right? 7, the rich rule over the poor and the borrower a slave to the lender. Right? Love of money runs the world. Not money, love of money runs the world. We are all borrowers now, okay? They have made it life so you can't but be a borrower, okay? If you're paying for your electric, just your utility bills, okay? You're a slave to that. Okay, there are some people who have gotten off the grid, they call it, and they go up and live in the mountains and make everything for themselves. And it sounds wonderful, but I bet it's a lot of work, right? And they're working every day, all day to sustain themselves, but they're free, okay? We were all meant to be that way. All right? In Bible times, they didn't have the electric company, the water company, the gas company. Okay? They had loans. They did make loans back then. Okay? And they had borrowers. Right? They weren't allowed to charge interest to their brothers, their folks in their country, but they were allowed to charge interest or usury on foreigners, and they did. So, still goes on today. But back then it was free to live, okay? You could make your own food, and, they had oil. You had oil lamps, and they had a well in the center town where everybody got their water from, right? You didn't have to pay for it. But nowadays it's different. So, 15, we highlighted foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but a rod of discipline will drive it far from him. Okay. It's okay to spank your kids if you're not angry, okay? Never do that in anger, okay? When I trained my kids when they were young, they got a single swat, right? And then after that, they got a hug. And they always knew that if they did something bad enough, worthy of a swat, that it would always come with a hug afterwards, okay? And it usually took 10 or 15 minutes, and they would come to me, Daddy, can I have a hug now? Absolutely. And it gets you, you know? I have great kids. I do. You know? I'm the one that all these proud, fathers are proud, and it says all over Proverbs, and I'm one of those, so. And we're starting our 30 sayings. We have 5 of the 30 sayings, okay? Right? Incline your ear and listen to the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge, for it is delightful if you keep them within you, ready on your lips. Memorize them, right? So that your trust may be in Adonai, the Lord God. I made them known to you this day, even you. Have I not written to you 30 sayings of admonition and knowledge to show you the true and reliable words, that you may give a true answer to those who sent you? Mm-hmm. And there they are. First 5 of the 30. Don't rob a poor person because he is poor, nor question needy at the gate. For Adonai, God will plead their case and rob life from those who plunder them. Do not take advantage of poor people. Okay? Number 2, do not be friends with one given to anger or associate with a hot-tempered person, lest you learn his ways and entangle your soul in a snare. Right? Yeah. Over here it says, make no friendship with an angry man, neither go with the furious man, lest thou learn his ways and receive destruction to thy soul. Right. Now, again, people get angry, okay? You can get angry over the injustice that's going on in the world right now, and there is lots of it, okay? Jesus got angry when people lost all respect for God's house and the temple, and they turned it into a Walmart there, selling animals and trading coins, and, here, buy your sacrifice here. Your sacrifice is supposed to be something from your flock, a treasured perfect of your flock, so you felt like you were getting something, not just paying for a dove and going in there and letting them slaughter it. Okay, and he got angry at that. Okay, that's righteous anger. You can get angry at the injustice in the world right now, because there is so much of it, because the devil runs the world, right? He roams like a lion, searching for people to devour. Okay? But some people are just angry at everything all the time. They never stop being angry and furious. And those aren't the kind of people you want to hang around, okay? Because you'll be like that. Okay? You could go a long way with that. Okay, number 3. Do not be one who shakes hands and puts up security for debts. If you do not have enough to pay, why should your bed be taken from under you? Right? You co-sign for somebody else's loan and they don't pay, they're coming after you and your stuff. Right? You get nothing out of that. He talks about this in just about every other chapter in here about being a co-signer. Okay? And number 4, do not move an ancient boundary stone which your father set up. Right. And like I said, it does go on today. I mean, they have a word for it, encroachment. When you encroach on somebody else's property that's not yours, okay, it's illegal. Okay? And number 5, do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure people. You ever see somebody that is really, really good at what they do, like an amazing artist, that gets to come to the president and paint a picture, and craftsmen, and, even mechanics and people that are really, really good at what they do. Okay. They get honored. So there you go. That's Proverbs 22. And like I said, this is the beginning of the 30 sayings, okay? And tomorrow will be another 20 or so, and then I think there's 5 the next day, and it goes on to something else. But this is the good part. Okay, we're deep in the heart of the Proverbs now, for the 16th time, and we're doing it 24 times, right? Just it's kind of a vow to myself. I do it 24 times. So, but there you go. Stay tuned later today. We are on day 357. Man, we're getting close, right? Of our Through the Bible in a Year. Today, I think we're reading 2 Timothy, if I remember correctly. Nope, we're still on Hebrews. We're going to finish Hebrews today, and then I think tomorrow we're starting 2 Timothy, right? So, stay tuned for that. Give us a like if you think about it. But until next time, we'll keep going. See you later.